Hello guys and welcome to volokinproject. It's Tony here, your favorite YouTuber. Today we are going to have a look at one of the best bargains gaming phones money can buy in late 2025. Well, this phone was released in November/December in 2024 and it was featuring the latest and greatest Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is still, well, the latest and greatest SoC on the market. Currently, this is the fastest phone in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ZTE Nubia Redmagic 10 Pro. What a name! It's a second iteration of the same design that Nubia introduced, but with a little bit of a different hardware and some upgrades. This is going to be a comprehensive review and I'm going to touch up on everything you need to know whether this phone is worth the current asking price of, let's have a look, how much is it? Redmagic 10 Pro over here in the UK, £539, brand spanking new, guys, which is a great price considering what this phone packs. Usually phones like that cost way more than that. I'm very happy with the phone overall, but spoiler alert, there is one deal breaker. And of course, this is the camera. We're going to talk about later on about the camera, but if camera is number one priority for you, do not buy this phone. Simple as that. Buy one of the older Oppo phones. Have a look at that. Oppo Find X6 or even Oppo Find X5. There you go. Cheap camera phones, way cheaper than this one, is gonna get the job done. However, if anything else, and I mean anything else, is a priority, this is the way to go. First, let's have a look at the design and build quality of this phone. By the way, for the £540, you're getting the base version, 256 gigabytes with 12 gigabytes of RAM, plus another 12 gigabytes of RAM boosted by the software. Now, my recommendation is, in terms of accessories, buy the original accessories while they're still available. The glass screen protector over here, you cannot say it's a screen protector. It looks 100% like the screen itself. Go ahead and buy that. And also, in terms of cases, this is the original case. It is absolutely brilliant, guys. Absolutely brilliant case, plastic, but it feels extremely nice. And when you slap it on the phone like that, boom, check this out. You have almost invisible protection over here. It adds almost no bulk to the phone itself and it sits perfectly. So case wise, get one of these, or if you're desperate for something else, AliExpress got you covered. There you go. You have this carbon fiber case over here. I think it is quite cheap on AliExpress, but anyway, this is the second best option. Now, the phone itself. At the back, we have a 50 megapixel OmniVision camera, another 50 megapixel super wide OmniVision camera, 2 megapixel macro camera, which is absolutely useless, the flashlight over here, the cooling fan, yoo-hoo, it has a built-in cooling fan, I'm going to show you in a second, and we have this flash over here, LED lights over here and over here, as I said I'm going to show in a second. This is where the fan sucks air from over here and it blows it from this hole over here, guys. The volume button is over here on the sides. The power button, unfortunately, it's little small rounded button which looks like a shutter button for the camera, but actually no, it's the power button. And the placement is a little bit weird. I mean, ideally it should have been over here with the volume button here or something like that, but unfortunately it's here and it took me some time to get used to this button over here, guys. I don't particularly like it, but there we go. Now, this is a specialized button which you can actually program to do some other things, but it currently activates the game mode. One extra mic over here and the shoulder buttons. When you play, you use the shoulder buttons. They're programmable, fully programmable. You can do whatever you want with them. At the top, we have the grill for the speaker, Air Blaster, 3.5mm jack. Can you imagine, guys? Now, while we're still on the 3.5mm jack, it has all the options, DTS, Dolby, and this and that. However, it is not loud enough, guys. If you have a powerful headphones, it's just not enough to power them on, but still we have a headphone jack. There we go. In terms of the speakers, now we have one speaker over here and one speaker over here. Stereo speakers, very difficult to cover because when you play like that, look, the speaker is here, this one is over here. it's perfect in terms of placement. However, in terms of quality, well, all of these phones, all the Oppo phones, they don't have the best speakers. The Pixels over here, check this out. All of these have better speakers, guys. Somehow they managed to do the speakers not very impressive. I mean, they're definitely loud enough, but it's just they sound a little bit flat, guys, and there is absolutely no work around that. So yeah, keep this in mind. The speakers are only good enough. They're not going to blow you away. One other thing that I have to mention before I go is the battery. Silicon carbon battery, guys. 7,050 milliamp hours of battery, which is pretty much unheard of for a flagship device, guys. Of course, there are phones with bigger batteries, but usually Chinese phones, which are not exactly, like this one. So the good news is, since I don't have the original box, I've been using this Lenovo 125 watt charger, which is more powerful than the included 80 watt charger. Of course, it's not going to utilize all the 120 watts. However, it charges just as fast as the original charger, guys. And in terms of the charging times, let me have a look. So 15 minutes you're getting 53%, 30 minutes you're getting 86%, and full charge 39 minutes, guys, which is absolutely crazy considering how big this battery is. And also the screen on time, guys, every single time I'm getting over 10 hours of screen on time over 2 days. The only phone that I remember was a flagship phone which managed to achieve that was the LG V60, and no other phone so far managed to achieve that. But considering how powerful that thing is, I am very, very happy with the battery life. Absolutely amazing battery life, guys. So design wise, that's pretty much it. What about the security? Well, we have a fingerprint reader under the screen over here. It is good, it is good. If you come out of the bath or you just washed your hands, it doesn't work properly. So your fingers have to be dry all the time, but rather than that, it works fine. The face unlock is, well, you can see that sometimes it's not very fast. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I would say it's good enough, guys. Not really impressed, but it's fine. It's okay. Now, the screen itself, it's a little bit of a over 1080p, the resolution of the screen. It's 6.8, 6.9 inches, something like that. Absolutely massive screen, guys. Flat panel, there is no curvature, and you have the impression that it's actually bigger than it is. But man, it is absolutely massive screen over here, guys. And in terms of HDR, in terms of color reproduction, in terms of sunlight visibility, it is all spot on, guys. And also 144 Hz. This thing is blazingly fast, guys. Check this out. It is absolutely amazing how this phone is. Well, as I said, the fastest phone in the world. Performance-wise, absolutely no problems, guys, whatsoever. Now, let's have a look at the gaming very quickly. I'm going to turn this button on over here and check this out. This is the gaming mode, guys. I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit. The fan is still not on. I'm going to start the game. Oh, there we go. The fan is on, guys. Check this out. So the fan is on. It has this fancy animation over here, LED. It's coming out of here. It has two stages, kind of low power and high power. When the phone gets hot, this thing really blows, guys, and it takes the heat out. Also, you can turn it on when you're charging the phone to turn the fan on, reducing the the strain on the battery in terms of temperature, which is really good, guys. Now, the gaming mode is absolutely amazing, guys. There are so many things you can do, so many settings, performance profiles. Absolutely, you have everything, guys. Everything you've ever dreamed of in terms of settings, LED lights, whatnot. It is over here. This phone has that. Also, there are some external cooling fans. There are some joysticks and stuff like that in the Nubia website. I don't need any extra of this stuff, but if you're a fan, you can buy yourself some extra accessories. They're made particularly for this phone. Now, from here you can start your game, of course, and let's put Wreckfest just for reference. Just quickly, I'm not sure why it's not. Come on. Oh, there we go. Start game. Right. Okay. So the cooling fan is on. The LED lights are on. Why are they pink? Don't ask me. I forgot to change the setting, but usually I don't use the lights. It just doesn't make any sense for me, but it's a cool gimmick nonetheless. Now this thing runs so smooth, absolutely so smooth, guys. It is absolutely it's unbelievable, really. I'll show you in a second. I have never really had a phone which runs this game so smoothly with the maximum settings, the maximum graphical settings of absolutely everything on, guys. And the level of smoothness, as I said, on the gaming is on another level compared to any other phone that I had. Now, one more thing about heating up. You can see that there's some lights on the shoulder buttons, of course programmable. Check this out. Over here it presses R when I press it. Have a look at that. And over here it presses L, which is for the, I'll show you in a second. Right, so this is for changing the camera over here. I've set it up, and this is for looking back, which is very handy because looking back on this game is kind of broken a little bit. So looking back here, you just accelerate like that. Check this out. And you look back like this. They're definitely very useful, guys. Now, in terms of heat, I'm going to turn off this mode. In terms of heat, the phone gets hot, and it gets really, really hot, guys. So the fan helps. However, when you're gaming, even though it feels hot, even though it starts throttling a little bit, you're not feeling it because the FPS and all the graphics are so high that the phone just is not bothered, guys. Now, have a look at this one. I'm going to show you my results over here. Let me have a look. My results, right. So wildlife extreme stress test, guys. I always make this stress test and have a look at that. Best loop, almost 7,000, guys. And check this out. The throttling kicks in about the 6 minute, and it stays like that throughout the whole test over here, guys. Which means that pretty much you are not going to feel the throttling because over 5,000 is super high, is going to run every single game perfectly. Now, in terms of the battery, it sucked quite a lot of battery during this test. However, during normal gaming, it draws normal amount of power, guys, and you're still getting your 10 plus hours of screen on time, so don't worry about that. Temperature got to almost 50 degrees despite the fan, which is way too high. I know it is way too high, but it's okay because you have the case on, you're not feeling the heat, and the heat is over here on this area. It's not on top of the phone, it's not at the bottom, it's over here in this area, so don't worry about that. Let me just check what happens with these notifications over here. There we go. They're all dismissed. Yes. So in terms of software, I literally, before I shoot this video, I was so pissed off because there was no updates for this phone whatsoever. No security updates, because when you have the Google phone, you're used to every single month, first of the month, you get the security update. Android 16 already running. Over here, Android 15. A new update arrived and nothing was changed. Simple as that. Absolutely nothing was changed. And on the Nubia website, you can actually access the firmware, this and that. And because I recently had two more different, ZTE devices, one of them, Android 14, I needed to flush the update manually, guys. And they took it off from the server. I was so lucky to find it on the Russian websites. And after that, you're getting the updates. But I really don't want to believe that that's the case for this phone as well. A major update, you have to update it manually, and then it's gonna start getting the updates. So unfortunately, ZTE cannot be trusted with the updates. On the positive side, everything is fine, everything is super fluid, the phone works as expected. You have additional features over here. For example, you go to system, you go to, where is it, wait a second, you have Redmagic AI, cooling fan, light strip, you have these additional features here, competitive key, this and that, this and that. Now, tiny screen, what did I mean by tiny screen? Let me show you something. Display. Over here, guys, on the display, you have tiny screen adjustment. Now, this is adjustment for the under the glass camera, because the selfie camera 60 megapixel is actually under the glass, so in normal operation you cannot see this camera, especially in a black background. However, when you're running a white background, or let's say GSM Arena's website over here, let's go, okay, still black, so that is fine. However, if you're using another application, for example this one, that it's not black, you can kind of see it a little bit over here, and on white background you can properly see a mark over here, guys. So it's not 100% hidden. However, the settings for this are absolutely ridiculous. You can go over here. Let me see, where is it? Tiny screen, tiny screen, tiny screen display adjustment. Right over here, this one. You can do it like that, and you can play around with the settings a little bit, and it makes absolutely no difference to the visibility at all. What they should have done is have a setting for the notification area over here to remain black all the time, thus hiding the camera altogether forever. But unfortunately they do not, guys. Now another thing which is kind of annoying is the edge settings. Now it happened way too often that you swipe back over here, you can hear the phone vibrate, but nothing is happening. Luckily there is a feature you can actually enable high sensitivity on the swipe back gesture to be able to be registered all the time. So that's been, let's say, fixed. And the other thing is these magazine unlock wallpapers over here, guys. These are absolutely ridiculous and unrelated. What is that? Come on, unrelated to what I'm doing. And sometimes I'm taking the phone out of my pocket, and when you press discover, you're greeted with this amazing screen over here. And sometimes I take the phone out of my pocket and I'm on this one, and I'm like, what is that? Like, come on, really? I mean, is that the thing? You have to turn it off, guys. It just doesn't work as intended, unfortunately. And I'm gonna take a quick break over here, and I'm gonna be back with you in a second. Okay, so let's bypass Mufasa over here and move on to the camera section, guys, because that was a deal breaker for me, unfortunately. Now, first of all, check this out. The camera interface is a little bit goofy. You don't have any zoom settings over here. You have the button between super wide angle and normal camera, but you know, come on. I mean, where is the zoom? Where is the zoom button? You have to go like that to zoom, which is not ideal. Ideally, I wanted to have it over here like any other phone, literally, but it doesn't have it. Now, camera family. You have a couple of different modes over here. You have a clone mode. You take a picture of your kid, he's moving around, you take another picture, another picture, another picture, and ideally you should have 3 pictures on the screen of, 3 kids. How can I explain it? You have your kid here, here, here in the picture, like a different movies doing something. Well, it's broken, it doesn't work. Now, you go to, what is that? You go to the, let me see. After that, you go to macro. Macro, it's pretty bad, guys. The 2 megapixel macro camera, it is pretty bad, and it's not proper macro as well. The photos, like for example this one here, look absolutely terrible. So yeah, not great, guys. And also check this out, something else. As I said, the 2 megapixel camera, absolutely useless. The 16 megapixel camera under the screen, hello, right. What can I say? The camera is over here, guys, and I really don't know why they've hidden the camera over here. Is it supposed to be some sort of a selling point or anything like that? Have a look at a couple of selfies over here. Just for reference, this sensor is OmniVision OV16A1Q, which is a 16 megapixel sensor. However, it looks like an 8 megapixel camera, and it just does not look good, guys. And if you thought that those photos are not good, the video is even worse, guys. You have a 1080p non-stabilized video, which looks absolutely horrific. Let's have a look at that.
Hello guys, and welcome to volokinproject, looking at the 16 megapixel front-facing camera under the screen of the Nubia ZTE Nubia 10 Pro, Redmagic 10 Pro. Now, no signs of stabilization in the menu, only beautification, which of course I turn off because I can't get any more beautiful than that. But let's just do a quick sprint over here just to confirm that there is no stabilization. And depending on the light, the camera looks kind of a little bit better on the selfies rather than the video. But yeah, let's have a look at a few selfies as well, shall we?
And now let's go back to the main cameras, guys. The super wide angle is a 50 megapixel OmniVision OV50E40, and it's absolutely useless, guys. Why is it useless? First of all, it doesn't look like a 50 megapixel camera. Second of all, there is a weird bad green, well, let's start that again. really bad green tint going on when you're taking the photos. And the worst of all, guys, the night mode is absolutely shocking. Have a look at this photo, guys. What is that? This is so bad. And finally, the only saving grace of the camera setup over here is the main 50 megapixel camera, OmniVision OV50D40 this time, found in some cheap Realme and Oppo devices, which is a weird choice for a main camera. However, this camera is actually okay, guys. It's a little bit warm. The portrait mode is bad and it looks bad. The clone mode, as I said, is broken. And also the dedicated night mode, well, it's not exactly a dedicated night mode, but the phone decides which is a night mode or not. And of course takes longer exposure, and the photos are actually good, guys. And overall day-to-day experience, you know, shooting some stuff to sell online and stuff like that, the focus is spot on, and the camera I would say is good, but definitely not 500 pounds good, guys. Probably if you find it on a 200-pound phone, you'll be happy with this camera. On a 5 or 6 or 800-pound phone, is just not good enough, unfortunately, guys. In terms of stabilization, you have 4K, well, you have 8K, but come on, no one is shooting at 8K yet. My TV doesn't display it, my you know, computer can't process it. So 4K, excellent stabilization in both 30 FPS and 40 FPS. Let's have a look at the quick example over here.
Alright, 30 FPS now with stabilization on in 4K. Let's just do a quick sprint over here. There we go. And autofocus abilities pretty good. In terms of zoom, we can actually zoom in up to, let's see how many times. Okay, up to 10 times like that. And we can zoom out, let's see. And this is the super wide angle, 30 FPS. Let's have a look, guys, if we do a quick sprint over here, what is going to happen. Okay, autofocus, I don't think it has the autofocus, but anyways.
Okay, guys, and since we got the camera out of the way, the final thing that I'm going to talk about is summing up this whole thing, and of course talking about the Volokin Spectrum scoring system. That is my rating system, guys, where I had over 200 phones tested already, guys. I think this one is number 200, and the phone scores 41 out of 50, guys, simply because of a few drawbacks, and mainly the camera experience. And why the hell did they stuffed, you know, the camera under the screen? I don't understand that. But if you are not, you know, 100% for the cameras, this phone will be definitely good enough. It is the fastest phone currently on the market. It has the best battery life, so a lot of selling points. The only other thing that I have to mention is the phone is just too big, guys. There is no way around it. It's sticking out of every single pocket that I have. Is just too big, is bulky, is 230 grams even without the case, heavier than anything else on the market. And the back cover of this Lightspeed color, as they call it, it feels a little bit plasticky, guys. It feels a little bit plasticky. I'm not sure if it's glass. I'm really not convinced, and that's actually glass, to be honest with you. And the white color over here, I just don't like it, guys. It's just do yourself a favor and get another color of this device. So yeah, that's pretty much it. My conclusion of this device, guys. Amazing device overall, but don't rely on the cameras. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next one.